Hey, what's up? It's Dave here from the Matt and Dave Show, thanking you for listening and reminding you to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you hear. I think you will, but you know, I'm biased.
He's Dave. I'm Matt, and this is the Matt and Dave Show.
It is. Are you literally phoning in that intro right now?
No, I'm looking for shit to talk about. This just in.
This just in. I'm on my phone.
Game of Thrones might not be returning as early as we thought it would.
Was that early to begin with?
Well, as early as we thought it would. The rumor was it was going to be back sometime in the first quarter of 2019. Now, mind you, I think it was the last season ended in like the first quarter of 2017.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a hot
I don't
second.
even watch the show, and I think it's been off the air too long.
But now they're saying that it might be even later. Like it might even be till like late June or July of 2019, which is like almost a year from now. So come on, guys. Like,
why?
Seriously, I don't know. I don't.
What are they waiting for?
Actually, you know what? It says here that I guess to be eligible for Emmys, you have to have your show has to be on from May. I don't know. It's beginning here, ending then.
Is that show really Emmy bait?
They've got like 38 Emmy Awards
for that show.
Fuck yeah, man!
Really?
Yeah, dude. Don't diss on Game of Thrones.
Well, I'm just curious what Emmys they're getting because I don't hear about it. Is it all like?
Well, to be fair,
I mean, outside of what's his name?
I don't know. I have nothing for you.
Oh, God damn it! This is it. This is the part you talk about. This is the part where you wish you had a producer, like somebody that could like, oh, Google this for me, quick. While I still mark time and
we're
do things.
trying to do that ourselves.
Yeah.
We're our own producer. We don't need a producer.
Though we do. We
produce ourselves.
We do. Wow, we are asexual.
That's what we're doing right now. We're filling time as I scroll through here to find the information that you want.
Oh my God, it's.
But really, all that's happening is I'm stumbling over my words because I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. You know, reading and talking is very, very hard.
It is. Well, when you're trying to talk about something else and read a different thing.
Right, exactly.
Even reading and talking, the same thing.
Well, I can read out loud.
Yeah.
But
it's not as easy as you would imagine.
Reading out loud?
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's not that easy.
If I wasn't scrolling through a bunch of bummed out shit right now, I would read all of the things I'm reading about. But unfortunately, there's not good things going on right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So no Game of Thrones until possibly June or July next year.
Jaloon.
That's it.
That's a very French word.
Jaloon.
By Calvin Klein.
The Game of Thrones will be back in Jaloon. 2019. I got nothing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. All that scrolling.
Yep. And that's the show.
We're done.
We're done. So I reach over and I grab my coffee and I glance over and I see Kermit just laying there.
Oh yeah. He looks a little beat.
Yeah, he looks how I feel after watching the Happytime murders. Happytime murders.
Happytime murders. Yeah.
So yeah, we just came back from
just came back from watching that.
You know, it's always hard going to see a movie with you and then knowing we're going to do a show right after.
Because we never talk about the show.
Because we don't talk about it.
Yeah. We sit in the ride home and talk about literally everything else.
Anything else. Well, sometimes we don't even talk.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we had something to talk about today. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Unfortunately, we had something to talk about today. But we have not talked about the show. We have not talked about the movie.
No.
That we just saw less than an hour ago.
So I'm going to say it out loud. What'd you think?
Why you got to throw at me first? Why don't you just go with your opinion?
I'll talk about my opinion. I liked it. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'll tell you why. I like the Muppets.
Yep.
I love hard R movies.
Yep.
Like solid hard fucking R movies.
Yep.
And I love a movie that celebrates the fact that it's a solid fucking hard R movie.
Yep.
And
yeah, there are some movies that are hard R because they just want all the blood and violence and sex and gore. And there are some that do it for the sake of doing it and just steer into that hard R skid because they're like, look, we're going to do it.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, like, it's hard to really get a hard R with puppets because there's no blood.
Right.
Like, you can shoot a puppet and it explodes in a puff of cotton and felt.
Right.
So you're like, well, that's like PG-13, maybe, I guess. You know what I mean? Like so you really have to turn into other fucking crazy stuff,
right,
to really maintain that hard R.
Right, snorting sugar.
Yeah, all the drugs and the sex.
Ejaculating all over an office, and what was a silly string, I guess.
Yeah, oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And I love noir detective movies.
Oh, me too.
I love
Yeah.
noir detective. LA Confidential, The Nice Guys.
Yep.
Just
Chinatown.
Mm-hmm. I love those style of movies.
Yeah.
And this was that. This was absolutely that to a T.
It was
seedy LA detective story.
It was that. It was a seedy, yeah, but it was like a detective noir movie and a buddy cop movie all at the same time. And that's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
You know, and not for nothing, you don't see a lot of buddy cop movies where it's a man and a woman buddy cops. You know, like
very true.
Like obviously we've seen a lot of, men buddy cop movies.
Yeah.
And lately we've seen some women buddy cop movies.
You know what was almost a buddy cop movie between a man and a woman?
Wait, don't tell me.
Okay.
I'm going to guess.
It's older than you think it is.
I'm going to guess Lethal Weapon.
Nope.
Okay.
But until the plot turned, not because somebody made a casting decision.
Okay. I'm going to go with, I have no idea.
RoboCop.
Was that supposed to be two dudes?
No. But it starts off as like a kind of buddy cop movie between him and his partner.
It's true. Yeah.
Like the girl. I mean, this is like
80s,
like late 80s.
Yeah.
Now it turns into RoboCop.
Was it mid 80s? Because weren't all of the RoboCop movies made in the 80s? Or was RoboCop 3 a 90s movie?
I think RoboCop 3 might have been a no. I think that was late 80s. Because they were still doing the like punks or bad guys thing.
Guess I'm gonna have to put my producer hat on. Yeah. Continue to talk.
Yeah, but that started off as like a mixed sex partnership, and they
keep that throughout.
They
the
do.
Series, really, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the third one's more about him fighting the other robots.
Yeah, him fighting the Japanese android robots and the cops quitting, and then OCP running. The third one's really a hot fucking mess.
It is.
And that says a lot, because I've seen some really weird RoboCop shit.
Not as much as a mess as the remake of RoboCop in 2014 was.
I never saw that.
It was awful.
Oh.
So you were right. The original RoboCop was an 87 film.
Yep.
RoboCop 2 was 90.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and RoboCop 3 was 1993.
93. All right, there you go.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You were correct. It was late 80s.
Late 80s, yeah.
I don't know, man. The 80s for me are just like one big what?
What?
Where are my G.I. Joes and my Transformers?
Sure.
And I need to watch my Saturday morning cartoons. That's 80s.
That's
me.
your 80s. Well, I mean, you were young.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. So were you.
I was, but I'm not.
Not as young as me.
Yeah.
But you were young.
But I'm not. I'm not.
You were young from where you are today.
Yes. No, but I genuinely liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I love the shit out of Brian Henson.
Yeah.
I do. I love that he's just like, my dad did his thing.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Yeah.
Although it is a little bit.
It kind of is. There were some puppets in this movie that reminded me of certain Muppets.
Yes.
Specifically, what's the bunny one?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
There's a couple.
Well, there was a couple that, like, so when Brian Henson sold the company to Disney, he sold, like, the main ones.
Sure, he sold all the Muppets.
Well, no, not all the Muppets. He sold all, like, the mainstream Muppets. There was some that were created that he kept. The boar and the crab.
Well, don't they have Fraggle Rock?
They have Fraggle Rock, too.
I thought they had Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
Not Disney, I'm talking about...
Oh, the Brian Henson's company?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So one of the things I noticed about this is, first of all, I like the movie too.
Yes.
That's first of all.
Yes, first and foremost.
I did like the movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I laughed a little bit more than you did. Just because I'm the first time around, like, I'm an easy laugh. Like, fart jokes are great. And
sure.
It's all fun. So once I decided that I'm just going to let go and have fun, I'll laugh at pretty much anything.
Oh, yeah.
The first time around. And then I'll be critical and think, why did I laugh at that after I walked out if it was a shitty movie?
Yeah.
Fortunately, this was a good movie.
Yeah.
No, one of the things I liked, right away we both did, when the there was like 18 title cards in front of the actual movie because there were 18 different production companies.
Yeah.
No, I think there were like 5 or 6. But the last one was a company called Ha.
Yeah.
And it was Henson Alternative.
Yep.
I was like, and we both went, yeah.
It's a good name.
It is a good name.
It's a very good
great
name. Yeah.
You know what? It's great too. I think we've gotten to the point too. I don't know. At least this is how I feel. I think enough people know who Brian Henson is and what he does.
Yes.
To know that the Henson name doesn't necessarily mean Jim Henson.
Yes.
You know,
I agree. I think he's cut his own.
I think
path
Henson
well enough.
means puppetry.
Yes.
And great puppetry and great performances and great puppet design.
Yes, agreed.
You know, I love that we can have Sesame Street and the Muppets and all the lovable characters that Jim Henson created. But we can also have you know, Brian Henson and all of his. I mean, he's been doing alternative puppet comedy for a little while now. Like they were doing like puppet improv.
Yeah, Puppet Up.
Puppet Up, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which I think we've talked about on the show before.
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great stuff. The thing that I noticed, too, is in the credits, now, obviously, everybody who knows the movie's coming out knows that Melissa McCartney is the human lead in this movie. And it really does kind of follow a lot of the same Henson beats. Like, there's a lot of cameos and a lot of famous, like, mixing up people and puppets, and that's kind of the whole premise of the movie.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, there's you know, the human character that's partnered with the Muppet character or the puppet character. I'm sorry. You know, all of the crazy villains and all that. Just it hit a lot of like those Muppet beats for me, which is great.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed.
But one of the things I noticed was so Melissa McCartney was listed first, but then the second person who was listed was Joe Beretta or Joel Beretta.
Joe.
Who is a famous Muppet performer.
Yeah, and because he played the lead guy.
He did. He did. So I thought that was interesting. Like, wow, that's all right. We really do have like
he's got billing on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to know who he is.
No,
see
you
his
don't
name
know
on
who
the
he
poster.
is. But yeah, he plays the lead guy.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because I know him. Like he's one of the only like Muppet performers who isn't like Jim Henson or Frank Oz or
right.
like that I know of, you know.
Well, David Goelz.
Sure, yeah. But he's like the second tier.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
Muppet performers.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
So it was interesting to see him in there, listed and actually part of this production, which is great. I would love to know how many actual like people who operated a puppet have been former like Muppet.
Right,
or whatever you want to call them.
I loved how fully fleshed out that character really was.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, I think
I bought a lot of it.
I think that's what you can do when it's a little bit like edgier.
Yeah,
it's
true.
You can't really give Kermit too much of a
backstory.
Yeah, other than Piggy and I broke up again.
Right.
Right. How does a pig and a frog fall in love?
Right.
Oh, I'm so depressed. I wanted to sell my show to a Broadway producer, but I got swindled, and now I need to get my friends back together to write the greatest musical.
Right. Like, or someone's trying to kill me and eat me.
Right. Exactly. Well, there you go. But even then, like, you can't really, like...
Right. To be fair, he did have one dark storyline.
He did, but you can't really, like, go down that path. Like, if it was the Happytime Murders universe,
right,
you could show the dude who's eating puppets, and, it's going to be scary. Like, you can go in the whole, like, you got to create that character.
Yeah,
so.
Oh, I thought they did a really good job of fleshing out the universe very quickly. Like, they relied on...
Very quickly.
And I like, you can rely on tropes.
Yep.
Especially if you need to tell a story really quickly or you want to just scoot through some backstory, throw a couple tropes in there. It makes it easier. Like, L.A., good. CD detective story, good. I got all these tropes down.
Mm-hmm.
I know. You don't have to say anything else. You've established the character already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why do puppets exist?
Right.
Well, puppets have always existed. Da-da-da-da-da. And then they throw in the whole kind of like racial angle, for lack of a species angle.
It was almost like like Roger Rabbit kind of a deal.
Yeah. It's like, that is very good. It is very Roger Rabbit in its execution.
Mm-hmm.
But like where toons are second class citizens.
Right.
And they've been like fighting. It was also very much the what was that Will Smith movie that was just on Netflix?
Right.
bright. Yeah, it was very bright and that type of thing.
True.
Like,
right.
Or Alien Nation did it beforehand.
That's true. Yeah.
The first Alien detective. Like, they've done that storyline to death.
Yeah, I think you can get away with as many tropes as they did, and I noticed them too, like right away.
Yeah, but they weren't like trying to hide the tropes.
No, but I think you needed the tropes to sell the world, or the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
I think the concept of a hard R puppet film needs, like, you can get away with the tropes because the original idea is the hard R puppets.
Yes,
or the mainstream. I guess I want to call this now mainstream hard R puppets because there have been R puppets around for a while, but not released to theaters nationwide.
No. There was, if memory serves, a puppet porno as well, like an actual puppet porno that was made.
Not as entertaining as the one we saw.
No.
In the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
In this movie. I just want to be clear about that.
Oh man, there is so much to unpack with that movie. I love that, like, it really was just vile. Like, truly, like, yeah, we're gonna show you this. You think that's weird? And you can do so much with puppets. You can do so much. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, I really appreciated. I love the fact that they just kind of strolled through. Like, you kind of figure out the plot halfway through it. Like, it wasn't like a huge revelation. At least it wasn't to me. Like, it wasn't like a.
Did you see it coming?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't. I saw part of it.
Maybe I didn't get the whole thing, but
Right.
I was like 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
Like, enough to where I was like, all right, I can go to the bathroom. I know where we're going to be.
Oh, yeah. You did.
Yeah. I was like, we're good. We're good. Like, I think this is going to be a lull where I need to take a lull. We're good.
Yeah. I'm looking up now to see how well the movie did.
Oh, I am
this
kind of curious
weekend.
about that.
Yeah. And
What were they up against? Are they up against anything big?
I mean, Mission Impossible has been out for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, that's not.
Crazy Rich Asians was pretty popular, and then the Meg. It looks like
wasn't the Meg the #1 movie for a while?
For the first weekend it came out.
Oh,
yeah.
that blows my damn mind.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like, Crazy Rich Asians is the winner this week.
Sure, which it should be.
Happytime Murders did about, let's see, 4. Let's say that 3. So they did about 11 million
ish.
Third place.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. I'm behind Crazy Rich Asians and the Meg, but right in front of Mission Impossible.
All right.
So not too bad.
No, it's not great.
It's not great, but number 3 for a movie like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think the budget was for that movie?
I don't know. I don't know. Because it's all, outside of like rotoscoping out all of the performers in the green suits, because they actually had another thing they did was they did the puppets walking.
That was interesting. I was like, how do they do this? They get like kids in like costumes,
right?
Because those kids are walking like adults.
Yeah,
and it's not CGI.
Yeah,
how do they do it? And then luckily at the end, like the credits, they had like a couple of behind the scene clips, which was hilarious. Funny as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, to see them do it with like green screen or like wearing green suits and
which they had done for a while. Like that's been like an effect.
Yeah, I never know that.
Yeah. That's been they've been doing it. I would say since the like early 90s. They've been like for a lot of the Kermit walking stuff. We actually see his legs move, or when they do the dancing.
That. Yeah, they did that in I think it was in the new Muppet movie or the Muppets. The Jason Segel one.
Yeah, they've been doing it a while. But it was very, very well done. Like normally, like you can it's like Alf. When you used to see Alf walking around, it was like clearly just like a kid in a costume.
It was a kid in a costume.
Like, and it walked like a kid in a costume.
Yeah, these guys didn't walk. That's why I was like, wow, they're not walking like kids in costumes.
Yeah, like I buy the walking.
Yeah,
like completely. Or they're not putting everybody on a bicycle.
Yeah,
or something like that as a way to get around it. Which is a clever way to get around them.
Back in 1987.
Yeah. You would just have them transported. They would all take cabs or
right.
But yeah, they did the puppet walking very, very, very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking, and I guess it beat Friday. I mean, it beat the Meg out on Friday, so it did better business on Friday than the Meg. But a lot of people went to see The Meg on Saturday. Listen, I think this is a movie that's, if it's going
niche.
to, it's niche, but I think that it will. If there are people talking about it, if it gets some word of mouth, it might pick up some steam. Maybe hover around the top 5 for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
maybe make a couple $1 million, and maybe we'll get a sequel. I'd be happy to go into this this again.
I don't necessarily want a sequel to it, but I want it to be successful enough to where the concept seems profitable to do. Like, I would love like a hard R HBO show,
Like Avenue Q.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like, Avenue Q's been around; it's been successful. Didn't win Tony Awards.
Oh yeah, I won.
So like that's another like hard. Well, not a hard R, but
it's
a hard R. It's a hard R.
It's not as hard R as
Happytime Murders, but it is.
I'd say that's a solid R.
It's an R.
Yeah,
R rated. Yes, R rated.
Avenue Q, for those who don't know, is a Broadway show. It ran in like 2006,
something like that
ish. And it was a straight up like adult send up of Sesame Street. Yeah. To the point where Gary Coleman is an actual character in the show.
Right.
Not Gary Coleman, the actor,
right,
but
somebody plays
Gary Coleman.
Right.
Usually a woman.
And Gary Coleman is a super.
Yeah, he's
one of the buildings. I don't know.
Yeah, like he's
really
like the
confusing.
super. Yeah, it's Sesame Street logic. Like I run some of the buildings here, kids.
Right.
And you just kind of buy it and move the hell on.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a song called "The Internet Is for Porn."
Yep.
So if that gives you any indication, if you've never been familiar with Avenue Q, there you go.
Or the internet.
Yeah, true. Good point. Very good point. So I look, go see Happytime Murders. It's interesting. It's exciting. Don't take your kids, obviously.
Please do not.
But I
take
think
your
they've
kids.
been pretty clear in the marketing for this movie that of course, Happytime Murders. I mean, I'm not going to take my kid. Well, my small child, if I had a small child still, but I would not take him to see any movie with murder in the title.
What about Murder on the Orient Express?
No, that sounds like
classic.
boring.
It's a classic.
Murder on the Orient Express does not sound like a anything that a kid wants anything to do with.
That is very true.
So
That
I mean,
is very, yeah.
unless it's like a snuff Thomas the Tank Engine movie.
That would be Murder of the Orient Express. Oh my God. That would be a great Thomas the Tank parody.
It would.
Murder of the Orient Express.
Yes.
Was it racist? News at 11. I didn't do it.
That's great.
We're terrible people.
Well, you are.
I'm terrible people.
You are.
Excessively terrible people. So while we were driving back, since we were talking about literally everything but the thing we just saw, we saw that Taika Waititi? Taika?
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I butcher his name. I apologize.
You wanna read it? Will that help you?
Taika Waititi. Okay, yeah, Taika Waititi.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. I was tutored from memory, and I was not doing a good job.
Well, I think we need to back up. So a couple of shows ago, we tried to give you an unbiased review of what's going on with
James Gunn.
And
Yes.
Disney and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We didn't succeed in being unbiased. We threw our opinions in there, unfortunately. But there has been more developments since we talked about it last.
It is.
So apparently Disney and Marvel and James Gunn all had a meeting.
Yep.
And the rumors were that they were going to hire him back, and they had this meeting, and now they're really not going to hire him back.
Yeah,
they're really
double
firm.
fired him.
They didn't double fire, but they just stuck to their guns and said, no, we're not going to move forward.
They stuck to their James guns.
Oh man, you did not just do that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they stick to their Sean guns, and he can come back as Kraglin and play the motion capture of Rocket. So they're not bringing him back. I think there are still conflicting reports on whether or not they're going to use his script. I'm 86% sure that they are going to use his script for Volume 3. But as of a couple days ago, they did decide to halt any kind of further pre-production. They've postponed the release date. They've
officially postponed the release date.
They've let go of all of the people that they had hired on, and they were doing some early. They were gearing up for pre-production, folks. So there was only a couple people that were working, but they freed them up to go look for other opportunities, and which is a nice way of saying they were fired.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of regrouping. We don't know what that regrouping is going to look like. We don't know what they're going to do, but Dave found this very interesting, exciting stuff.
All right, so basically what I saw was that he had an emergency, not an emergency meeting, but he had a meeting with Marvel
about a mystery project.
And the speculation, my personal speculation, was that they're going to give him Guardians 3. Really, I mean, like he did space really well with Ragnarok. He's got the humor aspect that, that needs to be filled, like with that void. He made some really human characters work.
Well, and I think Thor Ragnarok kind of felt more kind of the same vibe as the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, absolutely.
As opposed to all the other Marvel movies that have come before.
Yeah, no. Well, and it's like, I don't want to say it was a direct copy of Guardians, but they saw what worked with Guardians, and they kind of incorporated some of the elements of that into that idea.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think that Disney really did itself a disservice by firing James Gunn so quickly.
Yeah.
And then by entertaining the notion of rehiring him and then not doing it. I am not, especially these days, I'm really not a fan of playing into fanboy demands, obviously, with how toxic fandom has been lately.
So you think that they screwed themselves by listening to the outrage, and then they double screwed themselves by listening to the outrage about the outrage.
Yes.
If they had at any point stuck to any sort of gun, you would have been okay, pun intended.
No, I'm not saying okay. Let me finish. I like that. That's funny. You and your gun puns.
I got gun puns.
Gunn.
Yep.
Punn.
One N on gun, two N gun puns. I know.
Okay. So I think they really screwed the pooch. The best thing they could do for themselves right now is to keep playing into that fanboy and hire this guy to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Because there are so many people that are just saying, I won't watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because there's no James Gunn. But those are the same people that are saying, hire Chicky, whatever his name is.
Taika Waititi.
Hire him. Like, he's the only one who could do it. Listen, you've got a solid reputation with him. He's delivered a blockbuster movie for you, probably the best Thor movie in the Thor series.
Yeah.
He helped turn that around for you. He helped reinvigorate Chris Hemsworth to be Thor, so maybe you can get Chris Hemsworth to do another Thor movie or two.
Yeah.
Or hell, maybe you can make Chris Hemsworth part of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which is not far-fetched.
No, it isn't.
Especially in the world that he's created.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing they could do is just go ahead, and he's involved. He probably knows a lot of the producers and crew guys and everything. Call everybody back. Probably start this thing tomorrow and still hit your release date.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that's what they're going to do, but I think that's the best thing they can do.
Can they make a third mistake?
Can they make a third mistake and not hire him?
Yeah.
I mean... Unless they're going to wait for J.J. Abrams to be done with episode 9, which is possible.
Yeah. All right. So picture this. They wait 6 months.
Wait.
Okay, eyes are closed.
Okay, I'm picturing
You're in the
it, yes.
space.
Yeah. Okay, they wait 6 months?
6 months from now, you get the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Ron Howard.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, I love Ron Howard. I've said on the show that I loved Han Solo. I loved Solo. I loved the Solo movie.
Oh, I need to see that still.
You still need to see that, yes. I'm sure you could probably pull that off today or tomorrow. Yeah. Love Solo movie. Love Ron Howard. Love all of his stuff. I could see Ron Howard directing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that Ron Howard needs to direct a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I don't think that we need to keep... Listen, and one thing that Marvel has done is they've done a great job of kind of...
Nurturing new talent?
Not new talent, but not A-list superstar celebrity status directors.
Right.
No. Favreau was a celebrity, but...
not a celebrity director.
Right. He had Zathura and Maid.
Yeah.
And he wrote Swingers,
Yeah.
So he wasn't a huge... director at the time.
No.
The Russo brothers were known for Arrested Development and Community.
Yep.
Before they did Winter Soldier. So, James Gunn had done, Super and Slither and had never done like a big huge blockbuster movie. So just keep doing. Look, Disney, Just let Marvel do what they're doing. You already threw down your gauntlet. You screwed them over. Now let Marvel do their thing. Find who they want. Hire who they want. Just let them keep doing what they're doing. And stop getting in the fucking way.
Yeah.
Just go keep making toys of these properties that they keep making great movies of, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. I think that's very fair.
That's what I say.
Yeah. Well played.
That's my stance.
No, it's a good stance.
I gotta tell you, man, this like back and forth was really pissing me off, and especially because of the situation that this was all in, and the hypocrisy of it all. At least in my opinion, may not be your opinion, but my opinion.
Right. I'm glad we interjected the opinion into it.
I'm not.
Oh, I am.
We are an entertainment show. We're not an opinion show.
But we
Even
have
though
opinions about entertainment.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think our opinions on entertainment are one thing.
Yes.
I think this was.
It's tangibly an opinion on entertainment.
I don't think so. I don't
It's
know.
like we had a hard opinion about the Kelly Marie Tran stuff. We did an entire show dedicated to it. Speaking of, did you see her interview?
But when we're talking about race and gender bashing,
all subjective, man.
I don't know, man. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see her interview because you shared it with me.
I did.
You
I
did.
did because I was like, who would need to see this?
And
honestly,
first,
I am
first
surprised. I shared it with you.
Why?
Well, usually you're pretty good about like.
Yeah, I hadn't. You know what though? After you shared it with me and I read it like 5 minutes later, then it started blowing.
Oh,
up
it started
everything.
blowing. Yeah.
So you just got to it sooner. So congratulations.
Hey, not bad. 5 minutes ahead of schedule. That's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the worst. What'd you think? Since like she's you're a big fan of hers. So what'd you think of her take on
I'm a
the
huge fan. I want to be her best friend.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was great. I think it was written very eloquently. She spoke her mind very clearly. She was very strong. She was very open.
Yeah.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah.
I felt I could just read the vulnerability in the piece that she wrote. She didn't give an interview; she wrote it.
Yeah,
it was an article. I am. I don't know. Can you be proud of somebody you don't know? I don't know. I'm proud of her for doing.
Yeah.
As a fan of hers and somebody who wants to be her best friend for life.
BFFs.
I want to be Biffles with
Biffles
with what is she say her name was now? I can't fucking remember. Lone.
Yep.
Lone.
Yep.
Yes, and I have no problem calling her that. I like Kelly Marie.
Yeah.
Kelly Marie Tran. I don't know. Maybe it's because that's how I knew her when she came onto the scene. But I respect her wishes. If she does go by Lone, I'm interested to see. She doesn't ever actually say, call me or I will be going or whatever. She just says, this is my name. Know me as Kelly Marie. You know me as an actor. Blah 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 blah. But my name is Lone and da 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 da.
Yeah.
So
no, I thought it was good.
I think it was great. I hope she, I hope she does change her name and goes by Lone Tran. Like Tran is their last name.
Yeah.
She actually, I don't know. It's so hard too now because people they have stage names. So
yeah, which is a very very common
like Brad
thing.
Pitt isn't really his name.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many who does have like their real name. Think about that.
Oh. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look. I know Reese Witherspoon isn't her real name.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch.
I think that is his real name.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he has his that's because I don't think you could come up with that as a fake name.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like, the funny thing is Engelbert Humperdinck, fake name.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch, real name.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's great, and, it's not going to stop people from hating on her. It's not going to stop people from hating on The Last Jedi. It's not going to stop people from, bashing. The great thing I saw today was Hayden Christensen had a note for her, just was, showing her support, I understand the Star Wars fanboy hate more than anybody.
Yeah, he would.
So
outside of poor Jake Lloyd.
But here's the thing about that. I think the things that we hated about the things that fanboys hated about Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen wasn't anything other than their performance. And the thing that Kelly Marie Tran was attacked for wasn't her performance; it was her gender and specifically her race.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And her character, she was attacked by her character too.
Yeah.
But the character, not not her performance of the character.
Right. Just that her character existed.
Just her character existed. Like, that's not her fault, man.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the two. However,
and I don't even put the full onus, Hayden Christensen and Jake Lloyd on them. Like, it was clearly.
Oh, I've 100% blamed George Lucas.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like in the blame sense, like, I mean,
He's not a director. He's not. He is. It's so funny. I was thinking about this. So we've talked about people that we know locally who direct locally who do some of the same things that George Lucas did with his with the Star Wars. He built this thing, and he was more focused on the overall picture of how things looked.
Right.
What is this going to look like? What is this going to feel like? Not the actual individual, like kind of bringing it all down. Because when you're a director, you look at the big picture. You look at everything.
Yeah, I'm not a director. I don't know.
And there's actually a good point in the documentary in The Last Jedi, the filmmaker and the Jedi, or the director of the Jedi, whatever it is, that we talked about in the last show, where they just spent so much time in pre-production, and they're talking about like all these big things and budgets and set builds and scripts and creatures and walking into the creature shop and approving this and this and this and this. And Rian Johnson talks about how when he gets on set for the first day, it gets really intimate. Then that's like he really enjoys it because it's just him and the actors.
Right.
And you see him like actually like talking about, and they actually show some of the rehearsal between Mark Hamill and Daisy Ridley and him before they start shooting.
Right.
Just the three of them working together, like crafting these scenes. And that's what like a good director will do. Like really get in there and talk about how these scenes are going to work with actors. And I don't think it's documented. It's well known. I mean, Ewan McGregor was adamant about this. George Lucas doesn't do that. He's not a people person.
No, he sits and he watches on the monitor.
He wants to see the big picture. How does it all look? He doesn't want to get in to the psyche of the characters and the feel of it all.
Sure.
That's why you'll notice there aren't a lot of close-ups in the prequels. Go back and watch the prequels.
Yeah.
I want you to see how many like close-ups there are. They're all like mid shots or wide shots. Exactly. But there's no like close-ups. Go back and watch The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
There's lots of close-ups in that one.
No, there is. There absolutely is. Interesting. I need to rewatch the prequels again. I should.
So I didn't tell you, or we didn't talk about it. I guess we can. I'm actually watching the Star Wars movies now again.
Yeah. All right, now you're watching them in release order or?
Release order. I feel that if you're going to watch them, you have to watch. Well, hold on. Let me say why I'm watching them.
Please.
Because the girlfriend has never watched them before.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
You're exposing her for the first time.
I'm exposing the girlfriend to Star Wars. She's familiar with some of the stuff.
Sure, I mean,
but so we finally, like, this is one of the things like she told me when we first started dating, and I was like, we're watching Star Wars.
Yes,
we have to watch Star Wars. But it's one of those things where like it's in the way, and you can't like sit down and like, as a fan, like I want her to like not be distracted, not fall asleep,
right?
Don't be on your phone. Watch the movie and tell me what you think. And I'm trying to like avoid the whole like watching her. Is she going to react to this?
Yeah,
like, if you are a fan of How I Met Your Mother, and I know that you're not,
but I know what you're talking about.
Right? There's a whole episode where he's showing his girlfriend for the first time Star Wars, and he's freaking out. And he's like, "Why didn't you say anything?" And that's kind of, I didn't think of that at the time, but it was after. It was like watching her watch the movie, or like trying to watch her watch the movie. Yeah, and anytime like she moved, like, are you turning away from the movie? What are you doing?
Did you not like it?
So
I do that as well. I'm absolutely guilty of that. I try and think that I'm like super subtle about it.
But you're not.
Like,
right? You try to be, but
okay.
And you've got like 12 years, 13 years.
Yeah.
So she's probably figured you out by now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it was funny. So she knows some of the stuff, and she's like, the Jawas come on for the first time when they get to Tatooine, and she's like, "Are those the Ewoks?" And I was like, no, they're not into the third movie. Yeah. She's huge into animals. She loves animals.
Yeah, I know. And Ewoks like, are cute as shit.
She's like, oh, that sucks.
Oh, that sucks. Can we just go to the third movie?
And she goes, when does Yoda come in? I was like, that's not till the next movie. She's like, well, that's lame. And I said, listen, spoiler alert, after this movie, Yoda is in everything after this.
Everything else. They will not put this.
They will not put Yoda in anything else. Okay, he's going to be in all the other movies.
He is.
You're
My
fine.
God, they put him in everything.
He's not in The Force Awakens though, but his voice is for a second.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, so I was like, look, just get through this one, and you're going to be fine.
You're gonna hate your Yoda fix.
Yeah.
I promise.
So she's
Does she like Chewbacca?
She did. She does like Chewbacca.
Okay.
I don't know if she. Well, I told her when she watches the current movie, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
She's gonna love the Porgs.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
yeah.
gonna
She'll love
those
porgs. Yeah.
But yeah. She watched me. She laughed at some of the stuff that was funny, and then I started kind of like talking about fanboy stuff, like as the credits are rolling. Listen to the final shot in Star Wars.
I can imagine the. So what do you think?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. No, it wasn't that. Like I was gonna, I didn't even ask her like what she thought until I think the next day.
Oh, not bad.
But no, she liked it. She did like it. But so the final shot in A New Hope is like them getting their medals, and then the whole cast turn around.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what's really fucked up about this movie? And I thought she might even say something.
Right.
But I was like, Han and Luke got a medal, and she's like, yeah, but Chewbacca didn't. I was like, yes, you get it. That's it. Yes, Chewbacca does not.
This is the most racist shit I've ever seen. Give Chewbacca a fucking medal.
I know, like
man.
all of the shit that you went back and you threw in, you digitally remastered everything. You can't just fucking CGI a medal on Chewbacca's chest.
You can move Jake Floyd's eyes around, but you can't fucking give Chewbacca a medal.
His whole fucking head around.
You can make Han shoot first, but you can't write this wrong. Speciesist, man. This is some spirit. Wookiees get no respect.
Wookiees get no love.
They get no respect.
Yeah. So she liked it. I think she's going to. I don't think she's going to like Empire. Because she didn't like the way that she doesn't like sad endings.
Oh, well.
So when we went to see Avengers, like she was into it. And then when the movie was over, she's like, that sucked. I was like, why did it suck? She's also a huge Spider-Man fan, so that's kind of one of the reasons why it sucked. But like after talking her down, she was like, "Yeah, it was okay, it was good." That's fine. So I don't think she's gonna like the next one. No, she is not. But she knows enough to know, what's gonna happen. So I think it'll be all right. But so she liked it. We'll watch Empire soon. But like she wanted to do like a marathon. I was like, listen, let's not do a marathon. Let's just if you're gonna watch Star Wars for the first time.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could have. Like a girl comes up to you and says, "Hey, man, you want to do a Star Wars marathon?" You say yes.
No, I'm totally into it.
Yeah,
but I just like too much.
If someone asks if you're a god,
you say yes. Yeah, no, I thought of that, but I didn't want her to get too tired of it.
No, I mean, I don't think there's a wrong call either way.
Fucking I think you need to be a fan before you can do the marathon.
I think. Well, I mean,
if she comes to me like in a year or two and says, "Hey,"
like groups of 3, you could do like I think you could have done like Star Wars, Empire, Jedi,
right?
Then the next 3.
Yeah. So I think that you need to watch them in the order they were released, because that's the narrative.
Yeah.
Like think about it. Like when you go back and watch the prequels. You need to know what's going to happen to Obi-Wan before you see his story play out. Like I think it's just one of those things where
I agree.
That's the narrative. Now, as a fan who knows it backwards and forwards, when I sit down and watch it, I'll watch 1 through. I guess 8 now,
yeah. But if you're watching it for the first time, because I mean, the prequels take all the impact out of any sort of Darth Vader reveal,
right? Which she already knows, though. Most people know that anyway.
No, I know, but still,
like the most famous lines in movie history.
I know, but have you seen the YouTube videos of like, or the parents show their kids?
Oh,
that scene for the first time,
seen that, yeah,
and it's adorable. You're like, oh my god! Only almost beat out by people showing other people the Rogue One ending for the first time, and and how seamless the segue is, and like you're just like, there's one particular one this guy's showing his girlfriend, and she's like, oh, that's great, like that's a great movie. There's more. Oh my god, is that? Like she just gets more and more excited, like as it just like. As you realize how close it is, and all of the cameos, like, is that the, and is that the, oh my god, he's
yeah,
and it's the best. Because it's such like it's such a palpable, authentic amount of excitement. Like, and I think that's one thing that like YouTube's really good at is like capturing those moments of genuine human joy.
Right.
Like for all the shit that you see on YouTube, it really can bottle human joy very effectively.
Sure.
And I can watch that like 100 times,
Oh,
and I will
absolutely.
still be just like right there with her, like I know,
Yeah.
I know, girl,
Because that's how we felt the first time we saw it.
You're like, no,
what?
Shit, yes.
Well, that brings an interesting question of
When do you show those?
Well, that was the thing. Like the kid asked me that too. Like we were talking about. I was like, yeah, I showed it to her last night. Like we're gonna watch all 8 of them. And he's like, well, wait, are you gonna watch like Rogue One or Han Solo? I was like, oh. No.
Does that come in the order?
No, I don't think so. Like I think we'll just get through like the Skywalker saga and then see what she thinks, and then get her like really used to the idea of Darth Vader, and get her used to just all this other stuff before you show her the extra stuff.
No,
I feel like it's extra.
It is. It absolutely is. It's not required viewing, but it's very rewarding for people that have done the required viewing. It works as a movie on its own.
It does. It really does.
But it gives you that payoff
at the end.
Of like, oh, are you a big fan of Star Wars? Well, guess what, dog? Here it is.
I think
it's like Split. It's like, oh, you like this movie? Well, here's a little payout at the end.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's one of the things that they didn't do with Solo. Solo is dependent upon you knowing the universe. Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Now, there are some little things at the end that are like this. But I mean everything like down how he gets his fucking name and like like how he Lando and all this stuff. Like you have to know these certain things.
Sure.
So,
all right, fair enough.
What are we at in time wise?
We're good. Let's do it. Let's end it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna talk about something.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you want to talk about something else?
No, I don't have time.
We don't want to.
Yeah. So
it's raining.
It is.
It's pouring. Oh, actually, I would be the one that's snoring.
I know. I got more gray hair than you do.
Yeah, you do.
All right, well, we're going to cut it off for this week. Just a quick reminder before we go.
Yes?
Still haven't seen The Godfather.
Still haven't.
See you next time.
Peace. I say do it.